for my dream journal, which I didn't keep for long. It was a dream journal, not in the traditional sense of being used every night to record my dreams. Instead, I'll be just recording dreams that make me wary. Whether recurring dreams, dreams that I feel may be or may have been premonitions, dreams causing intense physical reaction, and other such instances. I will try to record my memories of my dreams as specifically as possible. It's hard to remember to record your dreams when you first wake up. So. Anyway, this one, I was just on YouTube and at the beginning, when the janitor in the weather building opens the door to see Los Angeles like wrecked, that scenery looked very similar to the scenery from this dream by the end, I guess. But this dream took place in New York, not in Los Angeles. I dreamed on or around 2011 or 2012. I dreamed that I was driving my mom's Jeep with several passengers in it over a bridge on my way toward NYC. And somehow I lost control and drove the car over the edge of the bridge and into a body of water. Then I found myself on the roof of a building in the city. Parentheses, it reminded me sort of like the roof of Joey's building in the Bronx, close parentheses. And I knew that I had to hide from the two men. I knew I had to hide because two men were coming. I saw them coming, so I laid down on the roof with my eyes closed and pretended to be asleep/dead. Meanwhile, the two men came near me, and one of them said to the other that I was passed out drunk, and they walked away and went into a building through a window. Then this blonde cheerleader type came out onto the rooftop, and she was being really loud. And I tried to tell her to be quiet because I knew the men were coming back, but she wouldn't listen, so I just closed my eyes again, and then the two men came back out onto the rooftop and killed the other girl with a weapon that looked like this. Like the Grim Reaper's scythe, but like on an angle and with crooked saw teeth. Anyway. Then the two guys left, so I got up and ran through the window into the building and got down to the main floor and discovered that outside there was a huge gang all over the streets of New York City with all types of weapons who were killing every non-gang member that they saw in public view. The rules of the killings were that they had to take place within the boundaries of NYC, and if any civilians got to the border of Westchester County, they weren't allowed to be killed anymore, so I had to find an escape route to Westchester in order to avoid being killed. Side note, this is just a tiny fraction of the dream. It was extremely long. 4 hours in total. I know because I woke up from the terrible nightmare for the first time at 9 a.m., then fell back asleep into the nightmare until I woke again at 10 a.m., fell back into the night terror, and woke again at 11, then back into the nightmare again. At 11, and then at 12 noon, so I woke up at 9, 10, 11, and finally at 12 noon, I woke up speechless, and then quote-unquote shivering and stunned. Oh. That's all of that one that I recorded. This one I had on 7/11/2015. Last night I wrote it on 7/11. 2015. Last night I had a rather unsettling nightmare, parentheses, but just a nightmare, not a hardcore night terror. Its theme was somewhat repetitive / related to dreams I've had before, with people trying to kill me and me somehow evading death over and over again in the same dream. I remember one of my killers was a black guy with the longest dreads, and he had a handgun and tried to shoot me several times. He emptied a clip, reloaded, and emptied another clip, and he and I both seemed puzzled and in angst over the fact that none of the bullets were able to hit me. Parentheses, reminiscent of one of the opening scenes in The Fifth Mountain by Paulo Coelho. And can't really remember the rest of the details of the ways I almost got killed. But I do remember that a group of people, parentheses, all women, tried to help me escape the deaths. Side note, I think it ended up being all men, but anyway. It sort of reminded me of the TV show Homeland. And like the group in the case of Homeland, the CIA sort of, quote unquote, recruited me, I guess, close parentheses. And like they led me out of harm's way. Directly in some instances, and gave me tips and advice on how to avoid being killed in others. Then toward the end of the dream, I was so scared and sad and freaked out over almost dying so many times. I started crying, parentheses, in the dream, and told the women or the men I just wanted to die, and then parentheses, or asked why I just couldn't die, close parentheses. I think I let myself drop to the floor or curl up in a ball, but one of the women picked / pushed me back up and escorted me on yet another getaway from a brush with death, and that's about all I remember.